In the clip presented today on my YouTube channel, I will talk about Austrian Airlines plane badly damaged by hailstorm during flight. Stay like this, but stay with me in the next few minutes to be up to date. An Austrian Airlines plane was badly damaged by hail when the airborne jet hit a thunderstorm cell Sunday, Austrian Airlines said. A storm cell is an air mass that contains up and down drafts, which can cause turbulence when a plane encounters one. The plane with 173 passengers and 6 crew on board from Palma de Mallorca in Spain to Vienna, Austria landed safely at Vienna. A Mayday emergency call was made during the flight, says Austrian. Social media shows the plane's nose was seriously damaged. The top of the cockpit bent, and the glass in the windows of the cockpit cracked. Airbus AE320 aircraft was damaged by hail on yesterday's flight OS-434 from Palma de Mallorca to Vienna. The aircraft was caught in a thunderstorm cell on approach to Vienna, which according to the cockpit crew was not visible on the weather radar, Austrian Airlines said in a statement to CNN Monday. According to current information, the two front cockpit windows of the aircraft, the nose of the aircraft, the radome, and some paneling were damaged by the hail. It is now being checked for specific damage assessment. It follows an incident last month upon Singapore Airlines flight SQ321 when a passenger died and more than 70 were injured after the plane hit severe turbulence. Later the same week, 12 people were injured on a Qatar Airways flight from Doha to Dublin. Gonzalez has never offered an answer to the question that hangs the July vote. Instead of detailing a roadmap to democracy, he has only hinted at what steps he would take should he win in July and the Electoral Authority effectively certify the result. He said his biggest priorities would be taming inflation, another of Venezuela's chronic ills and currently running at 64% year-on-year, and restoring trust in the institutions of power such as the judiciary, currently stacked by Maduro's sympathizers. The fate of the incumbent and his closest allies, several of whom are under investigation in The Hague for crimes against humanity, remain in the balance. But amnesty for outgoing officials could be on the table, Gonzalez. In all political transitions and political crises, you have amnesty agreements and transitional justice. All the countries who have gone through situations like ours have ended up granting it, so I don't rule out we could take a similar measure in Venezuela, he said. While the election is slated for late July, Venezuela law mandates that the winning candidate won't take office before January 2025, creating a delicate 6-month handover period that Gonzalez would have to manage carefully if he wins. Those 6 months will be key for him as a president-elect, while the entire state apparatus remains under the control of the regime, said Sadio Garavini di Tullio, a classmate of Gonzalez who also served in the Foreign Office and helped manage the opposition in the Chavez years. Edmundo, however, can be that person. He can give a lot of guarantees to everyone involved with the regime. He will not be the president of the opposition government. He'll be the president of the transition government, Garavini di Tullio said. George Eichhoff, a German diplomat who served as director of the Konrad Adenauer Foundation in Caracas between 2008 and 2013 and remains close to Gonzalez, made a similar point. Edmundo is a public servant. He knows there cannot be any revenge against the government. Eichhoff, he has already started to speak to the other side, for the opposition. Machado is the firebrand messenger to galvanize its base, while Edmundo is an extension of the soft message. He's very realistic about his task. Asked about the possibility of vote rigging by the Maduro regime, Gonzalez was sanguine. "We're aware we're facing an enemy," he began, then corrected himself, softening the message, "an adversary that has no qualms about using any advantage the system gives them." Grandfather figure. The dual message has been visible throughout this first month of the political campaigning period, with Machado, a longtime conservative politician, who first ran for president in 2012, holding public rallies in every street, while Gonzalez has dispensed calmness from his home in Caracas. When Gonzalez's candidature was formalized in April, a portrait of him by Bloomberg photographer Gaby Oral went viral in Venezuela. It shows the candidate feeding for colorful tropical parrots, called guacamayas, typical of Caracas. Across the city, citizens routinely feed these wild birds, who can display a pet-like loyalty. They come every day, 2, 3, 4, sometimes even 10. They are his friends, said Mariana, Gonzalez's daughter. The guacamayas come in the morning and in the evening. He can spend hours just feeding them sunflower seeds. He takes care of them. His other passions, according to those who know him well, are baseball, the Real Madrid Football Club, family barbecues, and reading. Fans see in him a grandfather of the nation type figure who could usher in a new era after the political violence of the last decade, pointing to his electoral slogan, Edmundo, President for All, as well as his age, 73, and family situation. He has 4 grandchildren. 2 of those grandchildren now live in Spain, among the more than 7 million Venezuelans who have fled the country in recent years. He hopes that an opposition victory in July would encourage at least some of that diaspora to return. It's time that the adversary is respected as such, and not seen as an enemy, he added. A message again, of moderation and transition.